And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Around the turn!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Hello and welcome to the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League season finale here for the fall season from the Nurburgring. This is going to be one of the most challenging races for the drivers that we have ever seen on this channel. And looking forward to a very exciting night in the season finale. It is Steve Ficacci and Darin Treakle going to be going at for the championship, although I believe Darin not here tonight, so that should lock it up for Steve Ficacci. It is 170 corner, 16.12 mile circuit. Going to be a lot of attrition in this race. We do have a pretty good sized field tonight though, so that is nice to see. And Steve Ficacci still trying to get a qualifying lap in here tonight. Let's take a look at the points as they enter into the race this evening. And that was going to be the championship battle. Steve Ficacci, Darin Treakle. Looks like Darin, though, as I stated, not here tonight. At least I'm not seeing him out here in the scoring for the moment. So we'll see if he does show up here in the final few moments. But 12 minutes left on the clock here in qualifying. They may advance the session. That's quite a long time. But we do have 7 drivers with a lap time so far in this session. And Adam Pohl currently holding on to that top qualifying spot. So, going to be a fun one out here tonight. We do want to thank you so much for tuning in. This series brought to you by SEO Mike and Beltway Brewing Company. And it's nice to be back after some technical issues took us out last week, right at the start of the broadcast. And we are so glad to be back here for what is going to be one of the most interesting races we've seen here on V-Speed. Make sure to comment your favorite driver in chat. Let us know you're out there, who you're rooting for. Who do you think is going to win here at the Nürburgring? As 7 drivers have completed a lap, still a few more on the circuit. Steve Ficacci out there being too lean on the racetrack as well. He is alongside, I believe that is going to be Colin Kortnick on the long straightaway here. This track definitely an interesting one. We'll pull the track map up so you're able to see it. 170 corners though. I mean, just the memorization alone is difficult enough. Meanwhile, executing on what you know about this track is a whole different story. There are your lap times up there. 8 minutes for Adam Pohl. 8 minutes and 2 seconds. 8:02:45 compared to Rafael Torres' 8:02:79. Those two about 5 seconds quicker than third place Callan Crocker, and it looks like Stefan Vapa able to get a lap in, so we'll have 8 qualifiers so far. Ficacci's still out there. He should be coming across the line here now. We'll see if the lap counts. He will go to the top, a 7:59:49, so the points leader. The top of the charts here in qualifying. Did that all with some damage to the splitter there, I think, getting up on the curbs. Carlos Bond still working his lap. Brian Kennedy, so out, he's on the pit lane. Robert Benson on the racetrack, trying to get his first lap completed. Carlos Bonds has completed a lap, but it didn't count. Must have gotten some incident points there. So 9 drivers with a time, ranging all the way from 7 minutes 59 seconds up to 8 minutes 17 seconds. That is how much, how difficult this place is. Again, if you are interested in the sponsors here tonight, SEO Mike, Beltway Brewing Company, those two, they'll be in the video description. You can also check them out. At the halfway break, this is a 40-minute endurance race like it has been all season, and this is the season finale here. 10 races for these guys in the fall. We'll take a bit of a break here, come back in the, I guess it would still be winter. I believe they're coming back in January. But you'll hear some new voices, or a new voice at least, running the show when we do return with these guys at that point. But I think they're still figuring out some of the details for that season. As there goes Carlos Bonds off the racetrack. The Ficacci's still rolling out here. And looking like he will probably end up being your champion. I don't see Darin Treakle, so... Steve came in 4 points ahead of Darin with 5 race wins in the 9 races we've run. And Darin had the other 4, so those are the only 2 that have won races. And looks like tonight, Steve Ficacci, he's the car to beat. 3 seconds a lap faster there than Adam Pohl and Rafael Torres. He may be the guy to try and take down once again here this evening. If you're new to the channel here, the broadcast, we do also broadcast Mondays and Tuesdays with the Below the Double Yellow Contender Series and Premier Series. That is in the NASCAR Xfinity machines and also the Cup cars. On those 2 nights, we'll be road racing with those drivers on Monday and Tuesday at Road America. So if you're F1 fans, or not F1 fans, rather IMSA fans, you'll recognize Road America, and these guys have also run there as well in the BMW machines, as well as I believe the GT4 cars. So be interesting to see what they pick for next season. As I believe David Curtis is going to call it there, and we've got time is ticking down. That is going to do it for qualifying. Steve Ficacci is your pole sitter here tonight. Congrats to him and all the other drivers for getting a lap time in. It's definitely a tough place to do that. Let's take a look at your starting grid here tonight in the season finale for the fall season of the BMW Kart Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League. Rolling off from the front row, Steve Ficacci and Adam Pohl going to get us rolling here tonight. In row number 2, it's going to be Rafael Torres, the 777, alongside Kellen Crocker in the 123. Peter Lanik to start from the 5th position. Dean Tooling going to roll off from 6th here tonight. Starting in the 7th spot, it'll be David Curtis. Starting in the 8th position, Justin Craig. Rolling off from 9th tonight, Stefan Vapa is starting in 10th. It's going to be Mike Nickum. Rolling off 11th here, it'll be Michael Pavolano. 12th, Brian Kennedy. 13th, Colin Kortnick. 14th, Yakov Bielik. 15th, Robert Benson. Carlos Bonds showing in 16th. That'll do it. 16 drivers out here tonight. Pace car is rolling, so Darin Treakle unfortunately not going to be here tonight, and that will make all the difference in the championship. That should lock it up for Steve Ficacci. And that takes a little bit of the excitement out of that championship battle. But either way, it should be a fun race tonight. Good sized field, one of the better sized fields we've seen here in the last few weeks. Nice to see drivers making it back out here. I'm sure they're excited for this race. This has been circled on the schedule for a bunch of people. But very, very big and historic track, the Green Hell, as they call it. The testing grounds for most new vehicles, sports cars and sports sedans and things like that, trying to calibrate their suspensions and get the best performance they can out of their production cars. But tonight they are in race cars, so these are finely tuned machines, high horsepower BMW M8 GTEs. Looking forward to some side-by-side racing action. The long straightaways in a couple sections of this track will keep the field a little bit tighter together, as they'll have a little bit of drafting even through these curvy sections, high-speed S-bends and all, basically every type of corner you can imagine exists at this racetrack. 170 turns. Here we go. Pace car should be making a turn on the pit road here in just a couple moments. There it goes on to the pit lane. Field in the hands of Steve Ficacci and Adam Pohl, the black and green machines out in front here from the Nurburgring for the season finale. Got them going here tonight in the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter. Green flag is out. 40 minutes to go here from the Nurburgring. And who is going to get the victory here tonight? Look at the charge into turn one by Rafael Torres. He looks driver's left and has to cut back to the left there. Almost looked like they were going to go the wrong direction. There are a lot of different layouts here. The F1 track layouts. As we have a pileup in turn two. See what happened here. 3 wide. And oh man, huge stack of 57 of Mike Nickham. And I saw the 43 of David Curtis. Did he get turned around? He did. Oh, and so did the 84 Dean Tewing. And then, yeah, big pile up right there. They all get rolling again out in front. Ficacci is pulled away by 1 second in front of Rafael Torres, who's got a mirror full of Adam Pohl. These three are going to be the closest on time, at least according to the qualifying laps. Might see a few other drivers start to make their way forward here as the race goes on. A long time to go, 40 minutes, and a lot of corners to make mistakes in. It's only going to be about a 5-lap race because of the time that it takes to get around the racetrack. Right on board here with Carlos Bonds. Little wide there through that apex, cuts it back. Justin Craig in front of him. And a lot of these guys maybe don't have the track as memorized as the top three. But they are going to use these cars in front of them as benchmarks. Top 5 all separated by about a second to a second and a half each. And you see Michael Pavellano, he's closed up to the back bumper of Stefan Vappa. He's actually going to try and pull alongside here as they go through the corner together. And really tight racing. Looks like Stefan's going to back out of it, and Pavellano will take the 5th position away. Nice job there to make that pass. Further back, Callan Crocker closing up on Carlos Bonds. He is right there on the tail. He's going to now look to the left. And he'll be able to pull on through. Gets by high-speed section here, 150, 160 miles an hour. He'll get down into the braking zone as the leaders weave their way through this part of the racetrack. 170 miles an hour right there for Steve Ficacci, who leads them through those corners. Rafael Torres, Adam Pohl behind. Starting to make up a little bit of ground. So much on throttle time here, but a lot of technical corners. But the downforce on these cars does make it a little bit easier than they, well, if you try to get around here in a NASCAR or something. But even in the slower corners, you know, these cars have a lot of downforce and a lot of weight to keep them planted. How about Rafael Torres? He's cut the deficit down to about 6/10 here. Could be challenging for the race lead in short order. Right on board with Rafael. And we've got an issue for Michael Pavellano. He is around here. Not sure what's happened. Let's take a look. Might have just lost it on his own. Does appear to be the case. He's got it back rolling here, but out in front, Ficacci pulled away now a little bit more again. Taking a look here for other drivers with issues. Mike Nickum is having some connection problems. Sorry about the silence here. We are having a little bit of an issue with the overlay, but we are getting it solved. Looks like a battle for position back here, 13th and 14th. David Curtis, Dean, and Brian Kennedy, who both got a little bit involved in the early incident there. Brian with heavy nose damage. Going to be affecting him on this first lap. They'll have to make a pit stop about... I guess they're going to have to decide between lap 2 or lap 3 on when they want to bring it in here. But how about Steve Ficacci? He's pulled ahead by now 2.4 seconds. And then it's another 2.5 back to Rafael Torres. Peter Atlantic 3.5 further back. And then Stefan Vapa in front of Jakub Bielik. Colin Kortnick right here as well, the 32. Good battle there. Callan Crocker all by himself further back. And then the battle is on behind Carlos Bonds, Mike Nickum, Brian Kennedy, David Curtis, all pretty close together. And Carlos going to just roll over for those guys. That'll let the 57 of Nickum on through. And now he's got Brian Kennedy closing it behind him. Carlos has stayed put there behind Brian, dropped way back though, and in between himself and David Curtis. Could have a battle for position here in a moment. Jakub Bielik, Stefan Vapa, very tight together. Colin Kortnick, nice charge into the turn there. He's going to close up a few car lengths because of that. That is a battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th. And Adam Pohl on through to 2nd position. Rafael Torres making a mistake. Falling back to 3rd, and he's actually starting to fall all the way back here to Peter Lanick. Yeah, Rafael made contact with the wall. He's got heavy left front damage. I did hear some contact earlier, but I wasn't sure what that was. We've got a battle further back between Mike Nickum and Brian Kennedy. Those positions, 10th and 11th, will change hands. That is the nature of this very long straightaway. And also a change of position. Michael Pavolano. Robert Benson falls back to 16th. That is 15th and 16th. Already 45 seconds behind your race leader. Really tight racing here in the mid-pack. Mike Nickum with some connection issues. Brian Kennedy. Justin Craig has brought it into pit lane here on at the completion of lap 1, and also Cowan Crocker. So I wonder if maybe they're getting some damage repaired, or maybe they are going to just hit early and try and run it to the end here. We also see that is Dean Tulane. He has brought it in. So those three pitting on lap 1. Interesting call there out in front, Steve Ficacci. 2.4 seconds ahead of Adam Pohl. 10 seconds back to 3rd, Rafael Torres. Ficacci on another level once again tonight, but Adam Pohl going to try and keep him honest here, as he has done many times this season. He's been a podium finisher. But high speeds here, that 2.5 seconds is a pretty big looking gap. I know there's names for a lot of these corners. I do not have them memorized. I've actually only driven around this course in the Gran Turismo games. and had a lot of fun with it back then, but I have yet to, actually that is not true. I do own it here in iRacing. I have raced around it, but in quite a while. I don't know any of the corner names. I know there's the carousel. That's really just the only one I know. About 170 of them. I don't know if there's too many people that know all of the names of all of those corners. No battles for position at the moment. Pretty spread out. Stefan Vapa, Jakub Bielik going to be the closest ones inside the top 10. Everybody else separated by at least a few seconds, although Peter Lanek has started to close up to Rafael Torres for the third position. They're just about topping out here at the top of the, I believe it'd be 6th gear in these cars. You can see the car lift up over that curb back there. And oh, big bobble from Rafael Torres. As Lanek sets a bead on the 777 for the third position. This is all going on about 11 and a half now, 12 seconds behind your leader. I would think Rafael Torres would want to get the damage repaired if he could. Most of these drivers really just trying to keep it on the racetrack here tonight. They want to finish this one. That explains quite the separation here tonight. We'll ride on board here with Adam Pohl for a little while as he runs in second. You can see the leader disappear around the bends just in front. These guys have a good handle on the race car and really pushing the issue. They obviously know the track pretty well. These cars handle so well, though. Just very amazing to see. Battle further back. Jakub Bielik, Colin Kortnick, just a car length or two separated right there. And you see Brian Kennedy, he's starting to close into the picture. All this behind Stefan Vapa. This group actually tightening back up once again. Vapa in that 5th position. You can see these three behind him pretty close, and they are gaining quite a bit here. Gonna be a little train behind the 97. All of these guys trying to get up there for a top 5 finish. They are 15 seconds behind Peter Lanek, who's having a very strong 4th place run at the moment. Still about a second between him and Rafael Torres for 3rd. Here we go, battle. Jakub Bielik charging the drivers right. Nice run there. He'll take the 5th position away. Vapa will back out. And that may open up an opportunity for Colin Kortnick. Look at him close up just like that. And off into the wall goes Brian Kennedy. Gonna have to hope the race car was able to withstand that hit into the guardrail. Pretty significant impact. You can see the right front crumpled on that, but he does have damage from lap 1. Made really good time here on this 2nd lap so far. He's closed up, gained a lot of those positions back. Mike Nickham, the next one behind this group, 6 seconds back from 8th. As they work through the carousel here, David Curtis goes off the line, and that is not where you want to go. You want to stay down there in the concrete patches. Michael Pavolano all by his lonesome. Carlos Bonds further behind him. Robert Benson another 6 seconds. Very spread out at the back of the field, but behind Stefan Vapa continues to tighten up. Brian Kennedy's gotten by Colin Kortnick even after hitting the wall. Very nice run as he cuts that rumble strip just a bit, and he will close right up to the 97 here at the top of the hill. They work down, back to the left. Then back to the right. Entertaining stuff here from the Nurburgring. Not a great run out of that corner for Stefan Vapa. Kennedy looks left. Not enough room there. They'll go back around to the right. Up the hill, down the hill. There's so much elevation change at this racetrack. And we'll stay on board here with Brian Kennedy as he is right behind the 97. Nice grip right there out of the corner, but no room to make the pass. Gonna have to wait for that opportunity to open up as Jakub Bielik is driven away from these guys. With Stefan Vapa definitely in the way. You can see Colin Kortnick, actually Mike Nickum starting to close in on these guys. So this is an issue for drivers like Brian Kennedy, Colin Kortnick, if they want to go up there and race with Jakub Bielik for a top 5. And like they say, if you're dominating, thinking up the show, like Steve Ficacci is, you're not going to get as much airtime. But man, what a season for him. This would be win number 6 if he can go on and take the victory. He'll complete lap number 2 right here for the course of about 16 minutes and 5 seconds. He completes 2 laps. That one an 8-minute lap. Really nice job. A second and a half faster than Adam Pohl. See what the lap times look like for Rafael Torres and Peter Lanik. And then we may see a battle right here. Colin Kortnick, Brian Kennedy side by side. Kortnick takes away 7th. He'll put his best efforts towards getting past the 97. I have an opportunity on the straightaway coming up in just a moment. As there goes Brian Kennedy. He'll bring it to pit lane and get that damage repaired with the quick repair. Mike Nickum will go on by. He's still got some damage in the 57. I think he was the one who actually ran into Brian Kennedy, or he got run into by Brian. Colin Kortnick 6th or 7th. Stefan Vapa 6th. David Curtis brings it into pit lane from outside the top 10. Brian Kennedy waiting to complete service here. 13 seconds for him. Short stop compared to some of the other ones we saw. So we'll see if that is enough fuel to make it to the end. Ficacci, no real pressure though. 3.8 seconds back to Adam Pohl. Colin Kortnick was not able to complete a pass on Stefan Vapa. Vapa has lost spots, though. Oh, and there goes the 32 of Kortnick. Big slide, saves it. Nice job by him. Mike Nickum closing in, though. The 57 looking pretty good here tonight. He ran about 4 seconds faster than Colin on the previous lap, and I think 4th or 5th fastest overall. So don't count out this 57 of Mike Nickum. He qualified in 10th. Actually, I think first car without a lap. I think we only had 9 with a lap time. He's up to 8th right now. He'll lose a couple of those when drivers do come back out of the pits. And ooh, did I see a big slide there from Colin Kortnick? Looked like he had a moment. However, the 32 struggling a little bit right here with back end grip. And he has lost touch with Stefan Vapa. This is your closest battle for position on the racetrack. Dean Tulane, David Curtis, also reasonably close battle here, but David on those fresh, or may have fresh tires. He's at least got a full tank of fuel, which is going to change the balance of the race car, so these guys will have to be aware of that once we're at the halfway point here. Ficacci out in front. 20 minutes nearly have been completed. We are going to go to a quick side-by-side commercial to hear from tonight's sponsors. We'll be right back. SEO Mike helps businesses of all sizes achieve higher search engine rankings to drive more traffic and increase sales. Contact SEO Mike today for a free website evaluation and quote. Mention this ad for 15% off your initial setup. SEO Mike, marketing websites on the internet since 1997. Visit SEOMike.com. Beltway Brewing Company is located in Sterling, Virginia, and proudly represents the DMV area. Check out their lineup of unique IPAs, lagers, sours, stouts, and even seltzers. Savory and delicious empanadas by Peruvian Brothers are now available in their tap room. For all things Beltway, go to beltwaybrewco.com and follow at Beltway Brew Co. on social media. Here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh! Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Sweat.
A push for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Back at the racetrack, leaders are still out there. Steve Ficacci, Adam Cole. Your top 2 right now. Rafael Torres about 16 seconds further back. And no real battles to speak of for the moment other than Dean Tulien and Robert Benson side by side. David Curtis behind them. Looks like Benson with issues out of that last corner there. He does have some damage. Gotta be careful. David Curtis on a full tank of fuel here, closing up on him. For the 12th position, he's going to go to driver's right. A little bit off the track right there, but Robert going to roll over and let him go. Brian Kennedy, who has also made his pit stop. Shorter stop on pit lane, only 13 seconds in the box. It's about 2 seconds less than David Curtis and about 11 seconds less than Dean Tulien. Would be the next car behind him, about 20.5 seconds behind him. We'll see how much time this makes up for the 77 compared to the race leader and how long they're on pit lane. But that's about the only opportunity Adam Cole might have, is if he can do something with the pit stop. Maybe just take a little bit less fuel. 6 seconds going to be quite a bit to make up. They're consistently about 1.5 seconds different on lap times. But if Pole can get a little bit closer, he might be able to get some of the draft from the 00 and keep him in tow. Might be able to make an opportune pass at some point. We come back to pit lane, or by the pit lane rather, in just a few moments. Been a very entertaining race so far, considering how spread out we've been, but battles between drivers inside the top 10, Stefan Vappa and Colin Kortnick. That's keeping an eye. Here comes Steve Ficacci. Nice charge onto pit lane. Probably see Adam Pole bringing in behind him. We will look at the charge from Pole. He make up some ground on pit entry. Nice job there by him. Rafael Torres just working through the final couple of corners here. He'll bring it into the pit lane as well. Lanik behind him, then Jakub Bielik still working at the top of the hill on the backstretch here. But Ficacci, he gets rolling. Time on pit lane 38.5 seconds. Adam Pohl, he's starting to roll here. 39.3 for Adam Pohl, so 0.8 longer on pit road. Bill Torres pulls it into his box. And Lanik gets rolling before the 777. He should take third position away from Raphael. So interesting there. Raphael, longer pit stop. He is still sitting on pit lane. I wonder if he's had an issue in the pit box. Colin Kortnick is here as well. Jakub Bielik. And we'll see. There will be some battles that resume, I am sure. But looks like everybody making their pit stop here on lap number 3. Only 14 minutes left in the fall season in this series. We want to thank you for joining us throughout the series, throughout this season. And looking forward to more racing from these guys coming in 2023. If you have enjoyed watching, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe right here on YouTube. We're also live on Facebook. And you can find out when we're going live and what we're broadcasting if you follow us on Twitter or Facebook, where we announce the races before each and every broadcast. And hit the bell icon to stay notified of when we go live here on YouTube. Ficacci's lead now up to 6.5 seconds. He's got 5 wins already this season. Looking for win number 6. As he rips on by right there. Adam Pohl in that second spot. He started second and he has had a very good performance. Just not quite able to keep up with Steve. But still opportunities for mistakes here tonight from any of these drivers. Battle resuming between Raphael Torres and Colin Kortnick. Rafi was on pit road for 1 minute and 13 seconds, so he had lost a lot of time there. Falls from 3rd all the way back to 7th, but he'll try and take 6th away. Stefan Vapa behind them. He's got the car cleaned up now, so damage should not be an issue. Mike Nickum in 9th behind him. Very impressive runs from drivers here tonight. Jakub Bielik in 5th, up from 14th. If he is your biggest mover, biggest loser so far is going to be Callan Crocker. Whose last lap time was actually about 5th fastest, so I think it just all the time lost came in the first 2 laps. But he's found his pace here, feeling pretty good. Justin Craig, his teammate behind him. Those two pit on lap 1, so I wonder if maybe they're in a little bit fuel conservation mode. But they also had extended stays on pit road. Might only be 3 laps led for Steve Ficacci, but it has been nearly 30 minutes that he's been out in front, so numbers can be deceiving in that way tonight. Mike Nickum started 10th, running in that 9th spot. Let's see what he can do with Stefan Vapa as he closes up just a car length behind. On Kortnick, about 15 or 20 car lengths off in the distance there. You could see him. Mike having some connection problems here. Probably a little bit distracting as the headlights have turned on. You see those blinking and disappearing behind you in the mirror as a driver here. Dean Tulin, he's having a nice race. Started 6th. I believe he was the one that got turned around there in turn 2 on lap 1. Able to get it pointed back in the right direction. He has recovered nicely. Good lap time the last time around. He was actually 2nd quickest. So Dean Tulin trying to move forward here the last couple laps of this race, and he has got drivers right here in front of him. Opportunities for position. This is tight racing. Nickum all over the back bumper of Stefan Vapa. Wouldn't be surprised if somebody gives someone else the bumper, not on purpose, but you can see Dean Tulin and then Michael Pabolano also closing in, and they're going to make their way up towards Colin Kortnick here as well. Fun stuff here tonight at the Nurburgring. 10 minutes left to go. Adam Pohl will need 2 laps, the best laps he's ever run at this racetrack if he wants to get up there and have a shot at it. And I just don't think he has the tires left. 7 seconds is a lot to make up. Oh, and we've got issues. Michael Pavolano has gone off the track. And he is slow here in front of David Curtis. Let's see what happened. We have contact between drivers up here. Taking a look at what happened. Oh my goodness. Mike Nickham went flying off the racetrack. I'm sure he blinked out for a moment. He comes back and he gets clobbered and flies out of the racetrack. Who was that behind him? Pavolano. Taking a look at the replay here. Oh my goodness. I wonder if it was an issue for both of them, because really the Michael Pavolano just did not slow down in that corner. But it could have also been a mistake because he didn't see the 57 disappear. And he charged the corner just about 10 car lengths too deep. Anyways, they get together, and that will break up that battle just a little bit. Stefan Vappa with some breathing room now. Dean Tulane has climbed to 7th through all of that, so really good job by Dean. The SEO Mike Machine. Can't believe this is our 4th season together with the BMW Car Club of America, and about to come to an end. It's been a great year with these guys. A lot of fun moments, and excited to see the league continue to grow into 2023. As big moment there for Calvin Crocker as he's trying to close up on David Curtis. But yeah, very excited to see what we've got in store for next season. David Curtis all over Colin Kortnick right here in this battle. And he's blinking the lights, letting him know that he is here. And that is going to cause Colin to go off the racetrack. Oh, and man, there goes Colin Crocker charging on through. Holy cow, where did he come from? Gonna look back at this replay. Wow, just great run here. Look at him flying up behind these two, and he takes them. Oh, at a moment right there behind him, David Curtis and Colin Kortnick. And they have separated themselves by a bit. That was all in the replay. What a moment there. That was pretty wild. Go time right now, and Colin Crocker said, I'll take those spots. And he took them. He just drove right on by. Very, very spaced out here. Lap 5 up on the board for Steve Ficacci. This will be the white flag on the season. Be coming back around for the checkered flag, and Ficacci looking for race win number 6. Out of 10 races, it was 6 for Ficacci if he does it here tonight, and 4 for Darin Treakle, who is going to finish, I believe, 2nd in the standings after a very strong season from him. It would have been fun to see those two duke it out. I'm sure it would have been quite the battle. But it's looking like Ficacci going to go back to victory lane. Question is, who joins him on the podium? It looks like Adam Pohl and Peter Lanik right now pretty well set. Brian Kennedy's got about 10 seconds to make up on Lanik if he wants to get to 3rd. Rafael Torres has recovered up to 5th after the long pit stop, but could have been on the podium here tonight. Michael Pavolano is on the pit lane, and Mike Nickham did take it behind the wall after getting launched over the guardrail. Yeah, and just looking at the comments here about the Mike Nickham and Michael Pavolano incident. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what happened there. Pavolano did not slow down, and Nickham, I think, blinked out for a quick moment on turn entry, and then all of a sudden, Pavolano just was there, and he was going to miss the corner no matter what, but turned out the 57 car was in the way as well. That launched him across the fence there. The battle for 11th and 12th is about to re-engage. That'll be Justin Craig and Colin Kortnick. And thank you, Scott. It's been a pleasure to bring you guys the action. Oh, and off the racetrack, big hit for the 32. And he's going to get into Justin Craig, but Colin Kortnick, that may be it for him tonight. Let's see what happened here as we go overhead. I think he just missed the turn. Yeah, just overshot it, goes through the grass, slammed the wall, and yeah, did get a piece of the 208, Justin Craig. Able to get rolling again. The car somehow still rolling straight enough here, but probably not feeling very healthy for him. Only got 3 minutes left in the session, and this is the last lap. I don't think he can really lose any positions here. He's about a minute ahead of Carlos Bonds. Keeping an eye on Steve Ficacci. He's got, let's take a look here. How much of a lap does he have left? Still quite a ways in this lap. Adam Pohl now fading back to about 10 seconds. We've seen Steve at less complex tracks win by this much, so very strong effort by Adam Pohl to run second as he has here. And I'm sure if he had been a little bit closer earlier on in this thing, we may have even seen a tighter battle for the win tonight. But so tough to run right behind somebody at a place like this where there are so many corners here. Issue for Stefan Vapa. He's gone around. But look what happened to him here. Maybe just lost it. We've already seen a driver lose the back end on this section of the racetrack. Yeah, just the back end kicks out, loops around, off the racing surface, or off the groove. Buick goes on through. He's going to try and track down Dean Toohey, and that'll be for 6th. That'll be a battle to watch. This is going to be your champion here, though. This will be his second championship this season. I believe also won in the M8 GTEs the first season that we broadcast. Christopher Hill himself and Darin Treakle, the real contenders in that one, but it was really Christopher Hill and Steve Ficacci, and ultimately Ficacci a little bit too dominant. Too many races. Christopher Hill almost even with him, but I believe had a couple issues in the late races of that season. But this will be 2 in a row in the M8 GTEs for Steve Ficacci if he can. He is going to clinch it here with Darin Treakle not showing up, but very, very impressive performance from a very fast driver with a lot of real-world experience. Brian Kennedy has made a nice recovery in this one tonight, up from 12th to 4th. He got involved early on lap 1. And really, it's only about 3.5 seconds behind Peter Lanik. You gotta think it's still possible, although he's running out of laps, or running out of track, rather, on this lap. Try and get there, but he is closing up. He's cut it under 3 seconds now. As Steve Ficacci on to the stretch here. Gonna be coming to close out the season. The 00. Looking to be a 6-time winner here in the 2023 fall season. To the final corner. And he is going to do it here tonight at the Nurburgring. Steve Ficacci, flawless, takes the victory. And he'll win the championship at the same exact time. How about Adam Pohl? About 10 seconds back. He'll come home with a very strong second place finish, uncontested as well, and he'll slide across the line to close out this year. Peter Lanik, he's got a nice gap back to Brian Kennedy. And try it as he might, Brian Kennedy not going to get there for a podium finish. So Lanik working through these last couple of corners, barring a catastrophic mistake through here. He'll be able to come home with the 3rd place podium finish. Job started 5th, going to come home in the 3rd position. Brian Kennedy, nice charge though, from 12th to 4th. He had a lot of good speed here. Actually, the last lap there, just about 3/10 off of the fastest lap. Rafael Torres, he'll come home with a nice strong top 5 finish. Dean Tulin, nice way to end this season for the 84. Getting turned around on the first lap, coming home to finish in 6th after right where he started. He'll recover and get a nice run. Jakub Bielik started 14th up to 7th. Second biggest mover behind Brian Kennedy. Callan Crocker, he'll come home 8th. David Curtis, nice strong run here. He'll finish in the 9th position. Stefan Vapa, late mistake. He's actually got Justin Craig right here behind him. Battle to the line. It's going to be Vapa taking the final position in the top 10. Justin Craig right here behind him. He'll finish 11th. Colin Kornick looking like he'll come home in the 12th position. Then Robert Benson, Carlos Bonds, and Michael Pavolano. Well, let's go back to Steve Ficacci. If we can find him on the racetrack here. There he is. Steve Ficacci is going to be your race winner here tonight, so congrats to him. Your champion and your race winner at the Nürburgring. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back to talk to him and the other 3 podium finishers. Right back. Beltway Brewing Company is located in Sterling, Virginia, and proudly represents the DMV area. Check out their lineup of unique IPAs, lagers, sours, stouts, and even seltzers. Savory and delicious empanadas by Peruvian Brothers are now available in their tap room. For all things Beltway, go to beltwaybrewco.com and follow at Beltway Brew Co. on social media. SEO Mike helps businesses of all sizes achieve higher search engine rankings to drive more traffic and increase sales. Contact SEO Mike today for a free website evaluation and quote. Mention this ad for 15% off your initial setup. SEO Mike, marketing websites on the internet since 1997. Visit SEOMike.com. Back at the racetrack now, going to be pulling in our third place finisher here tonight, and that is going to be Mr. Peter Lanick. If we can get him in the booth. Peter Lanick, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy. Lost him for a moment. Hey, Peter, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy.
I am sorry. I have you. Yeah.
So third place finish here tonight. You survived the Nurburgring, one of the most difficult tracks in the world, probably the most difficult track, and kept the car nice and clean, and get a nice solid finish here. Describe the race. Not a long race, only 5 laps, but difficult racetrack.
It is. It's a difficult track, and I've had a decent pace throughout the season, but I just kept making a lot of mistakes on lap 1. Spun out at VIR, and then again last weekend, all just self-inflicted wounds. So my goal was to just be safe, slow down. I did spend some time driving the track over the last 7 days, so I felt a lot more comfortable with it than I did last time we were here, and I just got lucky, didn't make any mistakes, and I had a little bit of space around me, so I could just focus on the drive.
Yeah, and a really good finish for you here to close out the season. I was just looking at the points here. You came in 8th, and a really good run for you. Might be able to get you up to 7th there before it's all said and done. But describe the season for you, and what are you looking forward to, moving forward? And what did you learn here this season?
Yeah, so after taking the summer off, I was excited to come back and race again. I really like the M8. It's a difficult car to drive, especially on a track like this, but there's just not a lot of traction, and especially after the second lap, the tires were starting to give up. But anyway, I enjoyed being back in the M8. Look forward to going back to the GT3 next season. I do like to do, especially during the fall and winter and early spring, I like to do some of the official iRacing races, especially in the Fanatic GT3 series. So it's going to be nice to have a little bit of wheel time behind the GT3 in this league, and then hopefully we will hit some of the tracks that will be in some of the other official races as well. So, look forward to racing the guys here, and hopefully staying competitive and being focused and placing towards the top 3, top 5 more consistently.
Yeah, you definitely have had good speed out here. Obviously, it shows in the finishing in the top 10 in the points, and a great run here tonight. You were definitely, in the top 5 fastest all race long. No major mistakes, and good finish out of it to close the season. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Gotta give a shout out to Team Gasburn, of course, Darin, Steve, for being consistent and joining us throughout the season all the time. The rest of the guys on the Gasburn squad, and thank you, Adam, for doing the broadcasting. Enjoy watching that after the race.
Yeah, this one pretty exciting race. I know it's a big track, a lot of drivers spread out, but there was some pretty intense action and some pretty wild moments, so it's going to be a fun one to watch back. But great finish out here, way to finish out the season strong, and we'll catch you next season.
We'll grab a drink tonight and rewatch some of it. Thank you, Adam.
All right, there you go. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
That is Peter Lanick, going to come home in the 3rd position. Let's go now to 2nd place finisher. Runner-up here tonight, Adam Pohl. This is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy.
Hey, Adam. I'm doing well.
Hey, good man. Very a long race, I'm sure, from your perspective. You see Steve just slowly starting to pull away, but nobody else could really touch your lap times. You two were kind of in a class of your own. But a great season for you here, and a runner-up to close things out. How do you feel about tonight's race?
Yeah, I was pretty happy with where I qualified. I just knew I needed to put in a clean lap there to get towards the front, and then I did everything I could that first lap or two, and then I could tell like Steve was just holding the gap to me, which is fine. Like that's all we got to do around here is keep it clean. Don't make any really stupid mistakes, and you're gonna finish pretty well. So yeah, I was happy to cap off the season like that.
Yeah, you came into the race 7 points behind Stefan for I think that was going to be for 4th in the points, and you may have gained that here. He finished 8 spots behind you, so going to be real tight there. You might have gained a points position, but either way, just kind of summarize the season from your perspective and, anything you learned and looking forward to in the next season.
Well, I can say I'm really looking forward to getting out of the M8. It's not the car for me, so I'm excited to move back to the GT3s and mix it up a bit there. But yeah, it was a fun season. Just push myself through some of these races, and now onto the new one.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's always cool to see you guys change it up here and see the different skill sets come out in the different race cars. You've been up towards the front in a lot of these different cars, though, so obviously, the skills go across those different disciplines. But yeah, second place here to close it out in the fall season, and a really strong season overall for you. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
I just want to thank Scott Kim again for keeping this thing together and organizing everything and yeah, making sure this league happens. So thanks to him.
Awesome, Adam. Well, congrats on second place here tonight, and go celebrate, and we'll catch you in 2023. I think that's when we'll be back with you guys. So have a great off season, and we'll talk to you then.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks a lot for running these broadcasts.
Thank you. That is Adam Pohl, second place finisher, the number 14 machine. Let's go now to the race winner and the champion in the fall season. That is going to be Steve Ficacci. This is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You get a copy.
Cool.
Well, the stat line says you only led 5 laps here, but I guess we only completed 5 laps. But man, 6 wins, championship here this season. Just dominating performance tonight, like so many other races. Describe the race tonight. And just going out there and dominating again.
Well, starting with qualifying, I mean, I slid off the track, hit the wall, and it was a corner that I was pretty much taking flat last night. So it kind of caught me off guard, and I went and looked at the weather, and it said we had like a 15-mile-an-hour wind. So I don't know if that was pushing the car to go faster down that straightaway than we typically were going, but I made some adjustments. I'm kind of happy that I did hit the wall because told me during the race, you got to be a little bit more careful, but I almost didn't get a lap in, but fortunately we got a lap in, and it was enough to start out front. But yeah, the race was, for me, it was fairly uneventful. I mean, I was kind of out front, and it looked like Adam and Raphael were pretty quick, but Raphael, I think, made a mistake, and I don't know the corner names, but probably like halfway through the first lap, and he looked like he fell back. Then Adam seemed like at times he was making some gains, and then and he really was like pacing me just a few seconds back, and then after the pit stop, it looks like maybe he kind of laid off the gas, or I don't know. I'm not sure what happened, but it seemed like after that he kind of fell back. But I know I kept the gas on because I felt like I might make a mistake, kind of doing things differently, and he wasn't that far back. Like, but you can either it's a long lap, so. If you drive around 90%, you'll lose quite a few seconds.
Yeah, or if you miss one corner, right? I mean, that's the difference right there. We saw a lot of drivers. They'd make 169 corners with no problem. It's just that one corner that can cause you a problem. But man, what a season though! From you 6 wins, I believe you've won both seasons that we've broadcast here, where you've run in the M8s. So obviously a good car for you. I know they're changing it up next season. Are you excited to go? I think they're going to the GT3s. How do you feel about those cars compared to these?
I honestly, I think I want to say I probably won 2 championships at least in that car. For a while we were bouncing back and forth, and I think I won 4 in a row at one point, and then there was I don't know if you covered when Chris Hill raced with us, but it was kind of me, him, and Darin every week, and it was awesome. I mean, even this season, Darin kept me honest. He's not here tonight, but I feel, I mean, up until last week we were tied in wins, and the points are very close. He always gets me in qualifying, I feel like, so, and I have to make up for what I can in the race. But the way the point system is laid out, and you get the fast lap, he's usually good for the qualifying and the fast lap, and I could win all the races, but he's still, he'll still score more points than me in a race weekend. Just the way that the scheme is.
Yeah, it was so close. I mean, only 4 points coming in tonight. Obviously, he wasn't here, which kind of took, put a damper on the championship battle. But you guys definitely were right there, neck and neck all season long. So it was a lot of fun to watch. And the only two winners this season. You guys were the only ones who
Yeah, what? He wasn't here tonight, and I had a feeling I was gonna win no matter what, just because with him not being here. But you don't know with the drop week. If he dropped a really low score, he actually could have gained points on me if I added a low score from earlier in the season. So I kind of had that in the back of my mind. But I remember, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, you had mentioned that me and Darin were the ones who won races, and I was like, I'm gonna try to keep it that way. So I kind of had a little bit pushing me. Darin wasn't here, so I had to represent.
Yeah, and you continue the streak. So 6 wins for you, 4 for Darin, and a championship to boot. So really strong season in the Rick's Flicks machine. Anybody you want to give a shout out to for the championship and the win tonight?
Yeah, I just want to thank the BMW community. All these guys are great. I really enjoy running with them, and I've met a few of them in the real world, and just good group of guys. And then you mentioned Rick's Flicks. He's been with me for quite a few seasons now, and he's a good friend. This year I've been racing with Matt Barber and the Office Service Company. They've been helpful to me, and Clark Ostrom got me involved with the real world racing, so I want to thank him. And then my personal sponsors, SVC Psychology and Hillcrest Tire and Qualified Landscaping. And last, I have to thank my wife Jenna. She's been super supportive and very lenient, letting me race a couple times a week at night.
Yeah, I know you were saying that you weren't able to spend as much time for a while there, but ultimately the skill and the real world experience, I think, transfers so much. And what a season for you here. Congrats on the championship and the win tonight. And go celebrate. And I know we won't be seeing you until at least 2023. Go enjoy the time off with your family and the holidays, and we'll catch you then.
Thank you very much. You have a good Christmas and good New Year, I guess.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
Yep.
All right, season champion Steve Ficacci, the race winner here tonight as well, as we close out things in the fall season for the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League fall season. Let's take a look at the rest of the results here from the Nurburgring. Very fun race tonight. Steve Ficacci starts on the pole. He takes the win. Starting second tonight was Adam Pohl. He finishes in second. No cautions, no lead changes. It was all Steve Ficacci out in front. Third place tonight was going to be Peter Lanick. Great run from him. Brian Kennedy, biggest mover of the race. He finishes in fourth. Rafael Torres, strong top 5 here tonight. Dean Tulin finishes sixth. Yakov Bielik, seventh. Eighth was Kellen Crocker. Ninth, David Curtis. And rounding out the top 10 was Stefan Vappa. 11th position, Justin Craig. 12th tonight was Colin Kortnick. 13th, Robert Benson. 14th, Carlos Bonds. Michael Pavolano and Mike Nickham round out the field after their massive incident where Mike Nickham went flying out of the racetrack. Very unusual to see that happen. Not sure exactly. I'm sure they're talking about it right now, but definitely made for an interesting moment in this race tonight. Go back and watch it if you missed it. But we do want to thank you for tuning in here this evening and watching Steve Ficacci go and take the championship. And appreciate the sponsors, all the people here at the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter that allow this to happen season after season. It's going to be a little while off until we come back with the GT3 machines, but looking forward to getting things going again in 2023. You will hear a different voice. We're going to be getting that all figured out here in the next few weeks. But a seasoned veteran in the broadcasting game, and he's very familiar with the road racing scene as well. I'm sure you've probably heard of him. Going to be looking forward to getting him up here in the booth and bringing these races to you here, right here on V-Speed. Make sure to tune back in Monday and Tuesday with the BTDY Contender Series and Premier Series from Road America in NASCARs. Those are always fun to watch go around the twisties. So tune in then. And until next time, have a great night and a great weekend.